I would start by saying once upon a time, but this story doesn't end with a happily ever after. This story happened way long ago. Exactly when, nobody knows. It all started with a girl named Maria. She was so beautiful and sweet. All the boys would fall in love with her as soon as they would meet. But Maria would never settle for dating anyone in her town. She wanted so much more and refused to stay poor. Then one day, she just couldn't believe there was a famous Don Juan Pablo in her town so tiny, and he was looking at her lovingly. He asked her to walk with him along the river. They spent all day together, and soon day became night. And even though he knew she was poor, he was blinded by her beauty. He promised to love her for all eternity. Maria said yes, and she just couldn't believe her dreams were finally coming true. She would finally be happy. On their wedding day, Maria wore the most expensive dress, long and beautiful, all made of lace. She wanted to make sure that when anyone asked, everyone would speak of her success. They right away had a baby. Then one baby became two. And that's when Don Juan Pablo's love began to fade. He left poor Maria, sad, alone, and afraid. Maria cried and cried and cried. She hated him for leaving her and wanted him to feel her pain. So to get back at him, she lost their children in the river, right where they were engaged. But after she realized what she had done, it drove her completely insane. She ran along the river crying and screaming. But it was too late. They would never be found. Not thinking in her anger she lost her true loves, she stayed by the river until the day that she died, crying for her children that they would never find. Wearing her expensive wedding dress to remind Juan Pablo of his broken promise. Still to this day, people say they see her ghost, usually walking around the river the most. They say that she's cursed because what she did was just the worst. So if you're walking by the river at night, beware, for it might just be the Llorona who has you in her sight.
You guys liked it?
It's a story. It's a campfire story that we always tell.
My grandma always tell. We didn't scare you guys too much, so make sure to subscribe. Bye!